Hey guys, welcome to DeFi Summit. It's going to be our second live stream. So we're doing live streams Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, just to kind of go around and give the different types of content that's going to be out there, and also different news within the DeFi ecosystem, and then also to provide any insights if you guys have any you guys have any questions and things like that. We can help answer. Hey, convicted marketer.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? So yeah, happy to do DeFi Roundtable Part 2. We'll do this every Monday and Wednesday. There's been a lot of stuff going on in different ecosystems as well, so we're excited to do today's quick recap. We have a lot of different topics to go over.
Mm-hmm. And if you guys haven't already, please feel free to join our Telegram. So our Telegram is t.me/DeFi Summit. And from there, if you don't have a chance to, ask any of these questions on here, feel free to reach out to us within the group, and we'll try to answer it to the best of our ability.
Yeah, and I think we can go rapid fire through a lot of the different topics first, and then open up to Q&A. But feel free to still fire over questions. We're always happy to kind of answer, especially if we're on the topic of Cosmos, Polkadot, Luna, whatever it is. We can go through that with you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're going to be going through a few different topics today. Let me double check really quickly. So we're going to be talking about Compound and how they integrated with Coinbase. We're also going to be diving into Terra, Algorand doing a DeFi 100 mil fund. We also have Twitter's NFTs. Moonriver wins the second Parachain Auction. Osmosis Double Rewards coming soon as well, and also with Cosmos DeFi. We also have Techstars and Launchpool launching the DeFi Accelerator Fund, and also around 650 banks soon to offer BTC purchase as well. And Cream, I believe it was Cream Finance, going onto Polygon and things like that. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff to kind of cover.
a lot of movement going on in DeFi, and again, there's a lot of development that's happening still, regardless of what the market conditions are. The beauty about DeFi is that everybody's generating revenue. Hopefully in the profits as well too, comparatively to all the other ICOs, and so no matter what, DeFi is making money, and it's a good time to be in DeFi. So there's a lot of stuff to cover. Exactly what you heard from Michael. We have different ecosystems that we're going to be touching base on, from Luna, Algorand, even's a new entrant into DeFi, and a lot more too for this week. This week's recap.
And then we see some Algorand people, and we have one from Twitter. Let's see. Would you like the HNS domain gifted to you, aka .DeFi Summit? Yeah, we we would if awesome. Reach out to us.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. If you could send it over. It's HNS. That's Handshake, right? Handshake.
Yeah, that's Handshake. Yeah, Handshake's doing decentralized domain names and everything. I've seen a lot of them pop up, and a lot of people are switching over to Handshake later on, once we start getting into that Web3 area, because especially for domains as well, and kind of having these websites, is that it's opening up another avenue, especially within the blockchain ecosystem, to kind of decentralize everything, whether it's cloud storage, whether it's through files, any types of things. It's we're going that route to where we're decentralizing literally everything.
Do you have .dgen? I would love to have .dgen.
.dgen.
.dgen. Let's go.
Yeah, so let's kind of dive into a little bit about the markets really quickly, and then switch over to the news, and then we'll switch over to Q&A for everyone.
Yeah, go ahead. You want to go start it, kick it off first?
Yeah, let me go ahead and share my screen. So yeah, within the markets right now, we saw a rebound from yesterday. If you're looking at CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko, Ethereum was around, I'll say 2,000 to 2,100 the other day, but now it's kind of switching up a little bit. We're also seeing different coins ticking off today as well. We've seen Telecoin, Yuma, Luna also Luna had come back. And then of course ICP, ICP down, CeeLo down, Filecoin down. ICP did a tear the other day.
Such a scam. I will reserve more words, but ICP is such a scam. I would not touch ICP at all.
I'm surprised about this one too. Bitcoin SV. Just one news from yesterday. I mean, Craig Wright winning the lawsuit against Bitcoin.com. Still, me personally, I hate Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin SV, but that's just my personal opinion. If you guys are in it, hopefully you guys make money. But me personally, I would never touch those. But like it has the name of association, right? Like it has Bitcoin in it, so people kind of like sway away from it as well.
Are we sure that? Man, I'm surprised that the coin didn't die with all the Chinese miners moving away.
Yeah. Oh, I want to see something. 51% attack cost right now. I want to see how much it is to 51% attack cost for Bitcoin Cash. So in order to attack it for 1 hour, it's only 20,000 with a 23%. So Bitcoin SV has 82% nice hashable. So you can actually do a double spend per hour for at least, I would say, like $4,000 or so to attack the network and just literally just kill it. I've seen it before with like Ethereum Classic. Back in the day, Ethereum Classic was 100% nice hashable. So basically what can happen is that you can buy mining power from NiceHash and then port it to your pool. So from there, you actually become the majority spender. So you can actually port transactions over and then double spend for the network. So yeah, Bitcoin SV, very, very cheap to attack. I'm not gonna lie. Bitcoin Cash, if you're able to get another miner that's potentially within that same network to do a 51% attack, you can still like skew some transactions with it as well though. But it has to be around 51%. But yeah, Bitcoin SV, 82% for, 82% of the mining power can be rented out. So I really don't think that it's very, very good. Very good to kind of like go into some of these coins, knowing that the hashing power can just be rented by an attacker for, even if I did it for what? Let's say if I did it for 2 hours, right? Let's say even if exchanges do it to where, hey, look, I'm going to need 30 confirmations. If I do it for, let's say, 3 hours tops, and I commit a double spend, like I can literally penetrate a $2.74 billion market for under 20K. So just a reminder for you guys. That's why I'm like very shying away towards Bitcoin SV and Bitcoin Cash, but a lot of people don't understand that, but yeah, I would sway away from it a little bit. And then also like looking at some of the charts as well. Let me actually switch ETH to, I would say, the 1 day mark. We're looking at more of like a longer term play. So you can kind of see like the local bottom is still around 17.3. We also have another nice support at 18.90. Right now there's still no roof, so technically there's not there is a roof. So the roof is around 35.18, which again, this is a day chart, so it is going to take some time to come off, but we're on our 4th bullish day. If you look at the indicators as well, so the directional moving indicator and also the demand index as well is about to pop. So usually what happens is like once this crosses over the selling pressure and this one goes above the demand index, it usually signals for another higher up. So even if anything happens, we'll start seeing ETH move towards that 2870 zone, and that's probably going to be our next like big resistance. I mean, like this one right here with the the 2500 might indicate a little bit, but if you're looking back as well, it's like 2500 might be the next one, and then the next one after that is 28. If 28 breaks, we're definitely for sure going to 35. But so just keep in mind whenever you're looking at these charts that the markets can just swing very heavily just because of bad news and stuff like that. So just keep that as a reminder. Even though that it's a 4-day mark with a buy signal, doesn't mean that it cannot still dump down for a day or two and then kind of retrace back up. Moving on to our first piece of news as well is going to be our Coinbase with Compound. So Coinbase will pay users 4% interest on USDC holdings. This one was announced, I believe, yesterday for this. But if you look at it as well, it's like Compound has been trying to get institutional players into the DeFi markets. And in order to do that, you have to have a institutional grade product, especially for DeFi. If you don't have anything that's going to be something that investors can say, hey, look, is this going to be something that is going to be regulated? Like what happens if a flash loan attack happens? What happens if there's any exploits and things like that? You need to have it to where it's secured for them. And with 4% interest as well is that they're able to pay the user. So if they're able to pay their users at least 4%, there has to be a way for them to make more than 4% in order to profit off of this. Because why would you offer your users more than 4%? Offer anything more than the traditional high yield savings account of 2%. So with this as well, it has to play within that institutional level. So it says, however, Coinbase said the loan, the USDC, is not to be protected by the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, which is the FDIC, or the Securities Investors Protection Corporation. So unlike a regular savings account, they're actually going to be lending it out through other cost methods. And then many of the other crypto platforms will still provide an interest rate, roughly 8% of the lending for the pair as well.
Yeah, and this stems actually not from Coinbase. This actually came from Compound, and I don't know if you want to pull it up as well too, but a fintech company called Current is also utilizing this as well too, to offer 4% to their companies. So it's called Current. I have to go look it up really quick as well.
See
Current, Compound. That's right. You can find it on Twitter if you want to take a look at it.
Let me double check. You wanna share your screen?
I can't pull it up right now. I'm looking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so pretty much it's like Compound. I mean, it's for those that follow Luna, it's kind of boring, but this is kind of like a first step for people and institutions to get into making DeFi rates. And if they're giving something low, 4%, there's definitely more upside that's happening elsewhere. But at the same time, this is like a inch by inch. The 4% is still better than a lot of the banks and everything too.
Oh,
so
yeah.
yeah, hopefully we can get more of that. So yeah, we'll see more from Compound. This is a good movement. Hopefully this opens up the door for others to open their eyes and see that what's it called? Anchor can provide 20%, and there's a few other stablecoin protocols and DeFi hubs that are coming out too. So yeah, we'll take a look and see how that plays out.
And then on to the next one is going to be so Cream Finance just launched onto Polygon. So with Cream, if you look at like Polygon's infrastructure now, is like we have Cream is now having, I believe it's like Aave is on there, Kyber. Oh, here it is. So it's Curve is on there, Aave, MStable, Rem, VM, Kyber Network, and OX, and then now Cream as well. So it's like you're building up this DeFi infrastructure for layer 2s because like if you look at like some of the things that you can do with layer 1 compared to layer 2 is that even Balancer, we talked about the other day as well, released onto Polygon. So now for Balancer, you're able to rebalance at a very fast pace and more cost-effective place. Now with Cream as well, so it's Cream is blockchain. I think they have like 3 to 4 blockchains under their belt. They have Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, now Polygon. I believe they're switching over to Phantom as well. Is that the more layers that you have, the more opportunities that you're allowing for people to deposit onto as well. And then also Cream has a staking portal for ETH 2.0. So let's say, for example, if you wanted to stake your ETH but didn't have the 32, you can actually do it. It's through a synthetic derivatives. So you can actually deposit ETH onto the platform, and then it converts to, I believe, CETH or CRETH. And then that is supposed to be an interest-bearing asset with the rewards from ETH2 that's already part of their validator systems, and then deposit it back to you as well. So it's pretty interesting, having more partnerships and more DeFi applications go onto like layer 2s and also become like blockchain agnostic and switching over to multiple ones as well.
Yeah, I just hope the Cream moving on to Polygon, they don't get hacked again.
Oh man, yeah.
Hack number 5 or whatever.
I think they mentioned it in this. I believe it was from GoDaddy was where they got hacked. Let me double check. Yeah, in March. Yeah, so in March, Cream suffered a domain attack service, which knocked its servers temporarily offline. At the time, the protocol was highly critical of hosting company GoDaddy, which managed the compromised account. So yeah, like with all of these as well, it's like, man, GoDaddy, come on now, go to Akash.
Go to Akash or Unstoppable Domains.
Yeah, Yeah, start hosting all these decentralized services, because like once your website starts getting malfunctions due to DNS or due to anything, you want to make sure that you're having yourself protected, especially within a decentralized finance area, to where you can have users literally just go on and go off. You don't want to have it to where your servers can be shut down, and then you have the average Joe who just went into DeFi and was like, I just placed money on here, I don't know how to get it out. They're not going to know how to contact the smart contract and see how to pull their money out. They're not going to be able to, I would say, code the transactions to do that as well.
Definitely.
The next one is going to be, let me double check. It's 650 banks are soon to offer Bitcoin purchases. So the banks are starting to notice that a lot of people are going into crypto, especially, I would say if they're offering for Bitcoin right now, it is going to take some time before we get Ethereum, we get Cardano, we get, Polkadot, Kusama, all these other chains. It's going to take some time for it to happen. But if you're looking at it in this perspective as well, it's kind of like a big win for the whole crypto community. It's like banks are soon to start offering Bitcoin purchases. So if you're able to give the users a way to buy Bitcoin purchases, I'm not sure if they're going to be the freaking custodians of it, or they're going to allow you to deposit and withdraw, like how we saw with like PayPal and Venmo,
Yeah, well, at the very least, though, it just shows that whether it be small banks and credit unions and stuff too, like now, the on-ramps and the fear of like, back then, even Wells Fargo still would probably cancel your purchases for now. But now that more banks are accepting it, this is kind of a great direction in terms of on-ramp. And I'm assuming that these are providing some sort of like custody service or something for on the behalf of these other banks to not have to deal with it. I'm not sure. We'll have to take a look at how this flows into the on-ramps for banks or people to purchase banks and host it and hold it on these platforms, or I should say banks, I should say.
Yeah, the thing about banks holding crypto is like I'm really iffy about that. Like, because like it's gonna happen. The same shit's gonna happen, right? You're gonna loan bank money, right? Like right now we're loaning the banks money, and they're using it at a 10 times leverage, or even more, or sometimes depending on like what they use for their trading vehicles. They can lend it out, and let's say they collect 10% interest or so a year. They give you, the user, a little small fraction of it. Similar to like if you allow the banks to hold custodial ownership of your crypto, whether it's through Bitcoin or anything else as well, is that you're basically giving them the power to lend out your crypto and potentially make a higher interest rate on it. So through decentralized finance, like now a lot of people are seeing the yields. They're like, holy crap, like you're seeing at least, one of them is saying right here is like, even like for Celsius, like offering 8.88% on USDC. But also for that as well, it's like Celsius is able to lend that money out in the back end and make more than 8.88% on your money, and then give a little bit back to you. Now, I don't even think that banks are going to give you any fractional shares or any fractional, I would say, fractional rewards in the beginning too. They're just going to allow you the option to buy and purchase, but they're not going to. And if they hold on to it, like we'll have to see kind of like how it goes out. Cooperation with the FDIC or the.
Yep, I agree, and I think that for better or for worse, again, this is just like the on-ramp. People don't know competitive interest rates and everything too. This is stage one of everything. As there's more competitive products and other services too, people will wake up, get into DeFi or some sort of hybrid DeFi that will let them kind of like skip and choose where they pledge their money. So I like this from a perspective of a first stage on-ramp. I don't like it long term because obviously, like, when you buy a Bitcoin off of your credit union or whatever, they will obviously, they could give you some sort of like wrapped Bitcoin or like fake coupon coin on the back end. That is pretty much like what Robinhood is doing. If you're Robinhood or others, like, why wouldn't you take that? Well, obviously you can at least take that money and pile it into like Aave or in the case like Compound now. Compound's offering some sort of interest, and then they keep a percentage of interest as well too. So I definitely think that's going to happen, but like maybe that's the motivation to get banks in for now to the front door, and then once things get more competitive, they can offer more other extra services on top of that as well too, right? So that's kind of like the next steps. I say that's needed. I'll take it though. I'll take it as a first stage on ramp win and more adoptions to the smaller banks and then the bigger banks as well.
Yeah, I mean, 650 U.S. banks. Like, I don't think the major players are going to go in first. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's more like local banks and smaller banks. But if there is any big banks, like it's kind of like a win for us, letting them know that, hey, look, crypto's here to stay. And a few years ago, people were like, oh, Bitcoin's a scam, all these things, and then now they're looking at it like, holy crap, like a whole country can actually run off of Bitcoin.
Definitely.
To the another one as well is also Techstars is one of the biggest accelerators. They actually partner with Alphabet Fund and Launchpool to launch a new blockchain-focused accelerator in London. If you guys were watching DeFi Summit, the event that was happening, it was like a 32-hour straight educational event where there's like multiple panels. Launchpool played a really big role in it, and from them as well. Yeah, they're basically having it to where you can have you can invest as if you were a VC. So you can actually be your own VC, and they can actually run a lot of the investment ideas through to users and kind of like using it through a decentralized way as well. But also for that too, it's like they're now partnered with Techstars, which is a really big accelerator that's able to now push all those towards decentralized finance. So they're actually going to be building and working with entrepreneurs to build blockchain technologies and tokenized protocols to drive towards the decentralized future of finance as well. And then I believe it was like a Techstars portfolio includes like chain analysis. They also have Arweave, TradingView, and there's a lot more as well. And even for like chain analysis, even though I don't like them as a company, but they're recently valued at like $2 billion, right? They're able to track transactions on the blockchain and things like that. So it's a really good thing. If you guys are in London or you guys are building a blockchain product, feel free to kind of like go and check that out to potentially get early rounds and things like that.
Yeah, this is just more, again, like more adoption. We're going to see like traditional VCs. We see Silicon Valley VCs like Andreessen Horowitz, Framework, and all these other guys starting to get in General Catalyst, even get into the game as well too. Albeit they're very late, but we'll still welcome more capital and capital flow into it. Whether they actually have diligence or not, it's still super early on. But again, that's why I think they partnered with Alphabet Fund as well as Launchpool to do a lot of the due diligence and bring in some of the experts as well too. We'll have to see like who are the mentors behind this Techstars program. But overall, I think it's cool. Like, we need more accelerators. Even though like we have decentralized options now with IDOs and pre-IDOs too, there's still always value as a potential option, especially through like mentorship and access to different contacts, and getting that acceleration. I think there's still a lot of value in that if your company needs it. Not everybody needs it, but I definitely think it's an interesting path that I think only gives more credibility to the space as we're seeing like more mature capital come into the game. and now it gets like the more traditional VC and startup investors paying attention a little bit more too. I'd imagine all the investors and angels that have been invested in Techstars, they can start watching demo days now and see what's happening in the Web3 accelerator by Launchpool and Techstars and Alphabet Fund.
Also, another really interesting one as well is Kusama. So Moonriver is actually the winner of the next Parachain slot.
Yeah, so we've been following along with the whole Parachain and Kusama ecosystem. Just completed recently is Moonriver. To no surprise, Moonriver has been a top-rated project created by a company called Pure Stake. And so they're just like a heavy development company contributing to a lot of different ecosystems as well. They have two different coins. One's Moonbeam. Moonbeam is for Polkadot. Moonriver is for Kusama. And so they just won the first or second slot, taking over 200,000 KSM as well. So it's a huge ordeal. Now, what do? They allow smart contracts through, I guess, like their EVM compatible bridge for the Kusama ecosystem. So people that want to port over their Ethereum-based projects can easily do so and tap into the Kusama liquidity now as well too. So let's say you want to port Aave over into Kusama, you can do so easily through Moonriver. And so it's what you're seeing now is like the progressive stages. And Michael, if you want to pull up the Moonriver's website while I'm talking to you, I think we can kind of showcase some of the features there. But with Moonriver, it's going to allow for more applications and and projects to come into the Kusama ecosystem. Again, the first one was Akala. They're building a DeFi hub that allows for like lending, liquid staking, and more. Moonriver is building the next bridge for EVM compatible projects to enter into space too. So we'll keep watching and see how the next third, fourth, and fifth slot come in for the Kusama Parachain auctions. I personally participated in the Mover crowd loan, and I'm excited for it as well. There's only going to be 3 million tokens initially, and only 30% actually provided on token generation events. So I expect it to be a big event, in my opinion.
Excellent. Yeah. So yeah, it's really exciting. You're starting to see Kusama really take off, and like it took a while to kind of really get these auctions going on, but now that they're going on, it's like you start seeing how the competition is and how much KSM is actually being locked up. Like literally, like if you look at Kurora alone, Kurora's over like 500K KSM was locked up, and then Moonriver is over 200K locked up. So that's what already 700 around like 700K out of the 10 mil that's already locked up. So almost I would say like 7% of the network, right? Like
yeah, it's getting close to 10%, and then in terms of like staking, about another 50% of the network is staked. Once Kurora turns online, we're going to see DeFi farms turn online, the first AMM swaps, liquidity pools, LP staking, all that stuff will turn online with Kurora, as well as liquid staking as well too. So you'll see another chunk of supply also be removed from play as well too. So, and again, like if the APY and DeFi farms are going to turn online, then we can see more upward pressure with Kusama as well too for the long run.
And then we also have Algorand's 100 mil fund as well. Let me. Was that one from Arrington Capital?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think that's. I have the.
So yeah, Algorand has been around in the space for quite some time, I'd say, and they're making a DeFi play. It's quite interesting to see that they're coming in, or they're trying to come in super hot with this declaration of a big fund. It's definitely new. It's definitely baity in a way. We've always seen like even like the EOS fund and all this stuff. Like, sure, you're going to deploy that much capital. It is a call for like more projects and startups to at least like pay attention to Algorand and be able to go after some of the fundings and grants created by the treasury or by the fund itself as well, right? So we'll have to see how this plays out. I know that Algorand has a very strong community, and they have a lot of I guess like government contracts and projects being built off of it as well, and as well as some institutions. So we'll have to see. I'm never opposed to like new farms and new protocols. Just keep an open mind and try it out. And there's always arbitrage opportunities or first to market opportunities with any of these new protocols and projects. So keep an open mind. Let's keep watch on it and see how it goes.
Yeah, especially whenever another blockchain or whenever another ecosystem opens up for DeFi, I'm definitely gonna be watching it, because like if we even with like Osmosis as well, it's like we're starting to see Cosmos DeFi open up, and I think that another thing that we wanted to talk about as well is also the Osmosis Double Rewards coming as well.
Yeah, so there was like a little rumor that had been going around on like crypto Twitter as well that Akash pools, for example, will start yielding not only Osmos tokens, but also AKT, Akash. And so I think this is a super smart move from both the token level as well as Osmos. From a Akash standpoint, they want to continue to drive up more demand and don't want people to just like instantly pull out the liquidity and crash the price. This just gives more like excuses. Even if people are not using Akash directly, they're learning and getting exposed to Akash through the LP pools. So it's a great engagement campaign, great thing for learning. This is also supported by the fact that Akash itself, if you just stake Akash, it's going to give you 80% APY on just staking Akash alone too. So that in itself gives a lot of strength to Akash in terms of in my opinion, in terms of a token itself. If you can just buy it and hold and stake 80%, I mean that's huge just from a staking standpoint. I'm excited in the future too. Let's say once Persistence comes out with like P staking, or even Yumi and these other new Cosmos hubs, they're going to allow for liquid staking or derivative staking, I should say, where you can give them your asset, they'll stake it, and they'll give you back a coupon that represents a staked Akash, and then you can take that whatever you call it, AKT, liquid AKT or derivative AKT, and then further farm with that as well. There's a lot of benefits. One, it ensures that Akash is locked up because it's like 2 levels deep in terms of like staked, and then it goes into another staked version. Basically, that's like 2 layers of liquidity locking as well too, and then it's just generating you more yield as well too. And then what happens, we've seen this with Anchor and Beat Luna, it can produce a lot more potential interest and higher interest rates through this like crazy like interest gamification where you can take all the staking rewards, pull that into another token that is going to generate more interest and seed it out, similar to like Anchor, right? Anchor is built off of Luna and bonded Luna. The 14% APY rewards are being paid out directly to the Anchor protocol and their interest pool. And then they're also doing some extra lending and other things to generate more profit into the pool. And then it creates this decentralized reserve that then guarantees that flat, stable 20% as well too. We're going to see a lot more of that to really extend people's staking and interest abilities as well with these liquid staking or derivative staking tools and protocols. And that gets me excited for like Cosmos IBC overall.
Yeah, like with I think we use Persistence with P stake. It's like you have there's 2 tokens. There's a unstaked one and then there's a staked one. So it just literally it helps users unlock that fund utilization of their assets, right? Because if you can, let's say, deposit instead of losing out to staking, right? Because you want to still receive staking rewards, but you also want to have it to where it's liquid, and that makes a more liquid market, because now you can have your assets stake, so it's incurring the staked fees. So even if, let's say, for example, if it's like 10%, so you're earning 10% of the staking fees. On top of that, you're still able to trade it out. So let's say if you wanted to place it into like a liquidity pool or things like that, now you're earning liquidity rewards, potentially like farming incentives, plus transaction rewards, plus the staking fee. So it just really expands out your assets. And then like once we start seeing, I would say, more of these derivatives come out too, like banks already use this stuff. If you're taking your US dollar, you're putting it into the bank, they loan it out in a derivative form, you still have access to their pool, right? You still have access to their pool, and you still have the 0.02 as, think of it as like a staking fee, right? So they're paying you back, depositing, giving you that 0.02% for staking fee. And then on top of that, you're still able to have a liquid, but you're limited to a certain extent. But with this, if you're able to allow Cosmos to really open up all of their proof of stake blockchains and be able to have staking plus the incentive of having a liquidity pool provision, or if you want to add, the other things on it as well, it's like now you're having your fund utilization go even further. So it really stretches out for the assets.
Yeah, and we're going to see a lot of extra byproduct and products that come out of this as well too. So it's get ready for this. There's going to be a lot. So what I'm excited for though is specifically for Cosmos, and what I'm looking at Cosmos DeFi is this is the amount of liquidity. First things is the amount of liquidity in terms of like Tendermint projects. A lot of it are in the top 100. Kava, Secret Network, Luna. Akash is like still low market cap. Same with Persistence, but there's over 200 projects built on Tendermint, And once, actually, while I'll pull this up too, I can pull up what's coming in Cosmos DeFi as well. So even, what we've seen here with Akash, even if you're not utilizing Akash right now, right? Just people are still like being able to tap into the liquidity of their coins and the generated stakes and all that stuff. So there's a lot of interesting games that happen. A lot of the Tendermint and Tendermint-based projects are, since Cosmos is all POS, a lot of these are generating a nice APY rates above more than 10% as well. So there's a lot of interesting things that you can leverage now with a lot of these different interest games that's been going on as well too. So I'm super excited to see how that plays out. What we're going to see in the next coming, I guess, month here, and let me pull up and share my screen here too. There's a quick little blog. I'll post this into the comments as well too for everybody to take a look at. It's 11 reasons to get excited for Cosmos DeFi. Yeah, it's a little shill article, but I'll let me break this down real quick here to tell you why why I'm excited for Cosmos DeFi in general. Just decipher this too. Besides the shill that's happening, and this obviously is written directly from the source, Cosmos and Tendermint team. But yeah, like here's the first reason. It's going to give more utility to the Cosmos and Atom network. Again, you have Atom, Luna, BNB. Even BNB is built off of Tendermint. BSC is actually built off Tendermint. CRO is Crust Network and many others as well. They're not joking. Like in terms of like the amount of liquidity, like Kusama has low liquidity right now. Let's be honest. Like in terms of like Akala hasn't launched it, Kurara hasn't launched it. Even then, when it launches, like it's maybe going to be like 500 mil to 1 bill market cap each for those tokens, maybe. When we look at the amount of liquidity that's chilling in each of these ecosystems, even just Luna itself, right? We already know that there's 100 projects building on Luna. How much liquidity is that going to open up once they can all bridge through Cosmos IBC as well, right? So each of these protocols, since Cosmos is an internet of blockchains, kind of really blows up, right? Because you were seeing that each of these ecosystems, their own blockchain, they have their own tokens as well. So for now, I think Cosmos will lead in terms of the amount of liquidity for now, in terms of this collective whole of tokens. There's not been, even Polygon alone, there are not other Polygon projects that are in the top 100. Like, let's just be honest. Like, it's just Polygon. And then you have all these like little farms, maybe QuickSwap's like climbing up, but still not even, I don't think it's not top 100, right? As well too. So like how much money is being flown or just even being utilized or I should say unutilized right now. Liquidity is being unutilized. How much of that can be tapped into the ecosystem? Definitely a lot. So that's reason number one. Number two is that Gravity Dex is a DEX that's created by the Tendermint officially. It allow any project, whether it be low market cap, again, like Akash, skip Binance, and then just go into their own version of Uniswap. In this case, Gravity Dex allows for early stage projects to instantly list. So you're going to have IDOs that come out, pre-IDOs that also come out as well too. So this is a great, easy way to get instant liquidity, instant trades, and instant action for the tokens as well too. Discovery as well too. Like I think the issue right now is that while there are a lot of Tendermint projects that are in the top 100, a lot of people forgot that they are actually Tendermint and Cosmos based. And so now it's like unifying all these different projects together into a more unified front, which we've seen a lot on the Polkadot side as well as Kusama. We have not seen this in the Cosmos front yet, and it's going to start ramping that up too. And then hopefully that provides more utility for the Atom in the center of all that as well. So we'll take a look and see how that plays out. A little more other things too. They have some other better execution as well to remove front running and price manipulation. I think a lot of it has to do with the Tendermint chain itself. It's super quick, and they can do, it depends on how they run their execution and orders as well too. They're able to kind of process the orders at the same time and eliminate front running. And then also too, like bridge different blockchains together and build some sort of like shared liquidity on the Cosmos IBC as well, which we still haven't fully saw. So that's really interesting. Why I'm super bullish as well too, just look at the stats as well. They did a little testnet test from May 4th to May 11th. 21,000 traders, which is pretty big in crypto and DeFi land. And yeah, like there was over $900 million of transactions traded in Cosmos or Gravity DEX. And you have to keep in mind this too. A lot of projects haven't enabled Cosmos IBC yet. And so what a Cosmos IBC requires is, let's say Luna, when Luna wants to enter into the Cosmos ecosystem and interact with other chains, they have to turn on a setting, essentially Cosmos IBC, which is called Cosmos Inter Blockchain Communication. It's just basically saying that like you're opening up your port to allow yourself to communicate to other Cosmos IBC projects as well. So it's permission. You have to open it up, and then you have to also allow the connection with other chains as well. You have to open up your freeways or highways to those projects too. So just alone seeing Gravity DEX get this number without a big heavyweight like Luna into the place, without UST, without some of these other projects is super bullish in my opinion. It's I don't know if you tried Osmosis, you tried the swaps out as well. It's super fast and transactions are super cheap. And if we like Matic for those reasons, I think we can also like Cosmos DeFi for that as well too.
Yeah, we're definitely going to need a stablecoin pairing, like coming up with it as well. It's like we're now seeing the pools right now, and once UST gets enabled, that's when we'll start averaging and most likely going to be able to stabilize some of the rates as well.
Yeah, UST, man. I'm seeing US Terra. I'm definitely not surprised to see that happening. Next is staking derivatives. So this is really cool. So they're going to bring in like kind of p-staking, a p-stake like thing into this ecosystem. Again, like this is what we talked about before. A lot of the tokens are, they're all POS based. Every tenement project is POS, and they're all generating yield. We cannot do anything with that. Those staking derivatives, they're just like sitting there, and then the pain of just unlocking, taking 21 days to unlock and then move that liquidity elsewhere is super painful, right? And so if we have a coupon or tokenization representation that's a shadow token of those locked positions as well, then we can freely trade it or trade it to somebody else if we want to exit from those stake positions, but still keep the staking rewards within the network. This helps with all the coins of the network so that a lot of people aren't instantly like pulling out and unstaking. So it helps a lot of validation and security within the network. It also helps DeFi projects and protocols still generate those consistent interest rates and rewards because people are not unstaking every single time just to like make a degen move and trade and move elsewhere, right? They're the DeFi hubs and protocols built off of Tendermint and Cosmos can still get that revenue from the stake to then feed into their ecosystems and equations for their staking derivatives as well. And that leads to the next thing, farming. Like we're going to see similar things to like Osmosis farms. There's going to be liquidity farming that will be opening up on the Gravity DEX as well. Now, we had a question too, like how will Gravity DEX differ from Osmosis? I personally have not tried Gravity DEX out, so I'm going to have to do a little bit more research. Next week, hopefully in a week or two, we're going to bring on a few people within the Tendermint team or advisors of the Tendermint team that have work on Gravity DEX. We'll ask them some of these questions as well. To my understanding, Gravity DEX does not have a token that's like Osmos. So like if you want the extra like liquidity rewards, it's going to be you're going to probably see more awards on Osmosis. And then when you're looking at something like Gravity DEX is going to kind of be more like Uniswap, in my opinion. You're not really going to get paid uni tokens at all, but you will get rewarded if you provide liquidity or base liquidity into the Gravity DEX as well too. So we'll see though. I don't know what the incentives would look like. Do they pay an atom? Do they have some sort of like campaign that they're doing with the token itself? Let's say Akash opens up a liquidity pool on Gravity DEX, which they're probably going to do too. They're going to probably slap on a nice like APY reward for people to participate in and enter into their liquidity pool and network as well too, to farm out. Gravity Bridge, we're going to see Ethereum bridging into Cosmos. This is super exciting. We're going to see essentially wrapped assets move into Cosmos, vice versa, allowing everybody to take advantage and tap into the team. And yeah, that's kind of like what's the forefront. This is happening starting in June, July, and beyond as well too. And in terms of like the negative drawbacks, what I'll say about this is that the only negative drawbacks for Cosmos for this is that there's still not enough public projects that are coming out that people are like fully utilizing. Maybe people haven't fully utilized it yet because it wasn't like a unified front. And so discoverability across all these different assets, and because they're not talking to each other, and I'm not able to flow my atoms into like Akash or Akash into DPVN or Sentinel or Luna, those connections weren't there. So it's always been like a free for all, right? And so maybe that's where like there was not like a unified front where people are interacting with all the different dApps and projects in the ecosystem. So right now, the big flaw for Cosmos is that everything's disconnected. Hopefully this starts bringing everything into a central place for the community to just like come and meet and then rediscover and jump off as well. And then the other thing too, I forgot, is one other thing that they're launching is called Starport. I'd imagine this is like an easy click to deploy blockchain, so you can instantly launch your own layer 1 in super fast on Tendermint. And then what this does too is allows you to tap and instantly list into Gravity DEX and potentially do some pre-IDO or IDO funding as well too. So this is really great for early stage ideas. What do I think this will happen? I think there's going to be a lot of Bitcoins that will come out of Cosmos. If they're going to make it this easy for somebody to click and deploy. But it could be a strategic move because shitcoins does generate hype and interest, and for better for worse, it's going to at least bring some awareness and adoption as people are going to like FOMO and degen chase, right? Like, I think this is a strategic move. In the long-term run, I also think this is a strategic move because it allows people to easily just jump and build onto the platform easily. If Gravity Bridge is also in place too, allows people to port hopefully their EVM compatible projects or tokens into Cosmos easily as well too. So we'll see how this plays out. I think
it's about to be it's about to be another wave of DJing. That's what I'm gonna say.
It is. That's the way I look at it. And all we need to do is we just need to follow the trends. This will happen at Sama. This is going to happen on Cardano. This is going to happen on Algorand. First to market. Imagine when you were farming Osmos when it first came out. Okay, that's like 10,000 plus APY. Insane. So be in the forefront. Be the alpha. Understand where the things are headed. Get ready for Gravity DEX. I think there's going to be more utility for atoms, and there's a lot of things to look forward to.
Yeah, Cosmos finally opening up for DeFi. It's like it is going to take some time. Like we saw with Ethereum DeFi, like it took 3 years for Uniswap to even hit like 60 million. Like that was crazy. And then it took them a really, really long time. And then afterwards, we started seeing Compound kick off. You started seeing like decentralized finance really take off. And then it took the next wave went on to BSC, right? We started seeing PancakeSwap getting really, really popular. A lot of like companies building on for PancakeSwap and things like that. And then right afterwards, now we're switching to Polygon. And the only things next are basically going to be once Cosmos DeFi opens up, once Kusama DeFi opens up, Polkadot DeFi opens up, Cardano DeFi opens up, like all of these other platforms that have basically no infrastructure, it's all first to market. The first to market ones are going to be the pushing incentives. And then from there, you're able to once you start doing cross-chain arbitrages as well, it's like, that's what I did when Binance was kicking off. Dude, there was a premium for ETH on Uniswap and between Binance Smart Chain's PancakeSwap. In the beginning, it was very, very small, and then at certain moments it gets really big. But you're able to see like after that, it was like, okay, now I'm on to QuickSwap. Like you are between 3 exchanges to kind of find the best price, and now it's like multi-chain arbing. A lot of people don't do that. So like even if you look at like Cosmos right now, like if you look at what was it, Osmosis as well, is that The only two bridges that you can do right now are just between centralized exchanges and Osmosis. So those are the only two right now. But once Gravity Dex opens up, now you can arbitrage between Gravity Dex and Osmosis, right? And there's going to be a lot more things that you can do as well with it as well. Because like once Luna gets included in everything too, like now you're looking at potentially arbing for UST, right? Between B Luna, UST, Akash, like you're now opening up the ecosystem to arb between different coins because there's always going to be a route. So whatever route that it goes to, let's say if you're going from Osmos to Akash, you're taking it onto an exchange, you're selling it at market rate, getting UST, you take that UST deposit onto Osmosis, take that UST by Akash, and then repeat the same cycle until the arbitrage isn't profitable, right? It does take some time to find those patterns, and if you are skilled enough to look at multiple ones at the same time, then you find the arbitrage, you become the market maker, right? You become the market maker, you make the profit off of that. And that's what a lot of market makers do right now. It's like they're able to get the profits off of that.
Yeah, so we're also open up to some questions too people might have for what's to come as well. While I pull up a few new things up here that's also happening. Again, the way that we look at things is like flavor of the month right now. It's been a bear market. Things have been a little bit boring as well too. But now we're understanding kind of like the development cycles of where things are happening. What I do believe that's going to happen right after Cosmos season is going to be they call it TeFi season. Terra DeFi and airdrops are going to come in hot starting like August, September. So this actually is very good because it's combining this momentum with Cosmos DeFi, right? Once Cosmos IBC, Columbus 5 upgrade comes in, and then all these airdrops come in as well too. It's a no-brainer. Like the momentum is gonna like just slam with each other, in my opinion, and drive up more demand as well too. So we're starting to see those rumblings. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. Like Luna had a little price action, like jump another 10% today as well. So just because Doe tweeted something out, Doe, the CEO of Terra, tweeted something out about Nebula airdrop coming. We know so far there's going to be like 4 airdrops that are coming in the immediate future, like Orion Protocol, Mars Protocol, Apollo DAO, Spar Finance, and Nebula, I said, as well. There's Pylon and a few other ones too. So we're looking forward to some of those launches.
Yeah, especially having them once they open up to IBC, that's when all hell's gonna break loose. I would say on Osmosis and definitely Gravity Dex.
Yep.
Oh crap! There was one news that we forgot to mention. Twitter giving out 140 Ethereum-based NFTs. Here, let me go ahead and get that on screen.
Pull that up.
All right, so yeah, Twitter is giving out 140 NFTs that can be seen on Rarible. This move right here is like Jack Dorsey has been. He doesn't like he likes Bitcoin more than he likes Ethereum. Like I'm not sure why, but I mean, well, Bitcoin's Bitcoin, right? But they're releasing 140 NFTs to be seen on Rarible, and you can kind of find out some of those different ones as well. Like the first one that's going to be called one of them is called a Fury NFT, which has like the NFT logo. Another one's like reply guy and stuff like that. But the NFTs are not for sale, but some of there's still bids showing up on them, but they're not for sale for right now. I think they're just going to be giving them away, and I'm pretty sure you're going to have to do KYC for it because Twitter's terms, which are governed by the state of California, the owner of the NFTs is allowed to display the artwork in their own personal, non-commercial purpose. But beyond that, Twitter retains the right and title to the artwork. So wait, why are they giving an NFT if they're just gonna own the
I don't know. I think okay. I mean, I think they had to say that statement just because it has their logo on it. They the legal speak had to come in and then like, yo, Jack, chill out. We gotta say permission that we have. I guess.
You know what's gonna happen?
We're still early.
You know what's gonna happen? I swear this is gonna happen. Once this NFT goes out and it shows that Twitter retains the right and title to the artwork, what's going to happen is they're going to revise it. Like artists are going to revise it and create like a custom artwork one without the Twitter logo. Like they'll just kind of like spoof the logo or something, and then just call it the unofficial Twitter NFTs. And there you go. Now that one goes on sale. Now you can buy that one with ETH. But
wait, it says if the NFT owners violate terms on social media platform, they would require a fee to pay $100. I don't get it. I don't know. That's really weird.
Why are they releasing NFTs? There's okay. So here's the thing that kind of pisses me off about the NFT hype right now, is that a lot of companies and a lot of celebrities are jumping into the NFT trend. They don't know anything about NFTs and they're just making it for the money. Okay, of course, this one is going on for sale. I mean, this one's going to be for free, right? But what's going to happen is now you're going to create it to where whoever you give it to and stuff like that, of course, they're going to own the artwork. But on top of that, they're going to try to sell it, or, you know, shit, if I violate the terms and I sell it for more than $100, I'll just pay the $100 fee, right? Like,
yeah, why don't they just build it into the token itself that Twitter collects a little fee, and that's their way of still like owning kind of the IP. I just think the lawyers just came in and be like, we don't know how to write the laws for this yet, and we still need to protect our asses from this as well. It's some weird compromise, but
yeah, but I kind of don't like it whenever people are like, especially some celebrities, like they're just creating NFTs for the money. Like they don't even care of like, oh, like whatever the NFT represents or the value of the NFTs. They're just airdropping it, or, you know, doing NFT sales for the purpose of, you know, hey, look, I'm going to sell this NFT. You just buy it, and then that's it. There's no like real world fungible value for it, right? Besides a collectible side. Okay. Of course, if some of these people are already super famous and then they pass away and stuff, of course, the NFT might have some different types of value to it. But a lot of them are releasing it and selling like millions and millions of dollars, and users are just getting a small piece of it. But there's no incentive. Whether it's like, I think like later on, if they're doing something like how Blau did it, where he actually gives you a physical vinyl, like that's something separate, you know, like that's something different. Like you're basically doing it to port vinyl sales, and then having like potential, you know, meetups or things like that later on in the future. Like Gary Vee is releasing V Friends, how you can like have a meetup with them, have a lunch with them, you know, things like that. Like there has to be some type of value for it. But even for like art too, like just regular art, like you could have it to where, okay, this piece is owned by the artist, but I still have the permission because I purchased this piece of art to still display on my gallery in Decentraland, or, you know, taking it to my metaverse and things like that. But the whole IP issue is kind of a little to me.
Yeah, it's half-assed, but yeah. I guess
yeah,
one of the
like
fun news
Rambo
that we can talk about too is Tom Brady and FTX. You want to pull that up?
Oh, Tom Brady, yeah.
Tom Brady,
Yeah.
FTX.
He bought equity, right?
Yeah. It's just funny, but it's cool. You know, it just gets like celebrity endorsements, and yeah. Sam is going on a marketing spree. He's becoming a better marketer than Justin Sun, and he's doing it in a cool way too. So not like a cheap way as well. So I like what Sam is doing, and I think Sam's just having fun with these sponsorships as well too.
Didn't Sam get the stadium in Miami?
Yeah, and then also too he got an esports team as well too.
Yeah, FTX is doing pretty big stuff right now. Like I think like in the future, like you'll start seeing, I mean, you're going towards like mainstream now too. It's like even for Sam, whenever we were going to like the presidential election and stuff, he fundraised, he not fundraised, but donated and stuff like that to the Biden administration, and then from there opened up Trump coin and Biden coin for the derivative side too, opening up for you know, opening up for betting for everyone. You know, one of them's going to go to $1, one of them's going to go to $0. Whichever wins funnels the other pool side of it. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, you know, feel free to place them in the chat. We'll answer them. I think there's a few. Let me double check really quickly. Let me scroll through some of the chat. So the first one's from Christopher Miller. So when are you guys getting Scale Network back on here?
Yeah, we hope so soon. I know that Scale is we claim to have Scale Summer coming, so we'll see. A lot of people have been saying a lot of good stuff about Scale. It really comes down to like, when they deploy, and when can people port their apps in there as well? Will they have a liquidity mining bonus event as well? Probably. So get ready, learn. I would just like, at least when you see some of these projects, at least figure out just how to set up a wallet, how to move assets into it, so that when farming is ready, you can jump on it super hot from the get-go, right? The question though ultimately is scale too late? With Optimism rolling out soon, with Arbitrum coming, it's going to be a competitive market, and Polygon's BD team has just been, on a machine gun spree, just like closing all the deals and all that stuff. So it's like, let's see it. I know Scale's been in development for a long time, but
Man, Polygon's going to like shotgun summer, man. They're getting all the top DeFi protocols right now.
Mm-hmm. But again, if you have a liquidity event and you give people money to do it, why wouldn't
the
they?
next one was it? The next one's from Eon. So he's like, what are your top 5 DeFi? So I think DeFi tokens. I think for me, I like holding on to Aave. Aave is a good one. Let's see, another great one would be like Curve, but it's a little bit complicated, and maybe Balancer. Like those are my like top 3. Other than that, it's like the other ones are kind of like displaced elsewhere, just kind of like shuffling around. But usually for Balancer, I like it because of the fund management side. You're able to have different portfolios, so you can mitigate some risk and stuff like that. For Curve, I really use the stablecoin function, so you can swap stablecoins together as well. It has more liquidity on that one. What about you, Justin?
I'm still just like chilling back overall, just farming on Osmosis. I don't recommend that you necessarily go out and buy Osmosis token. Just hop onto the Atom farm as well too. And then obviously Luna for now, just camping Luna and Luna projects. But I'm waiting for Kurara and Kusama to turn online as well. But until then, I'm kind of like a wait and see mode for those projects.
Got another one from FN View. Do you know of an NFT platform, DeFi platform that you can bond your NFT? So the thing about NFTs right now and bonding them to decentralized finance is that the NFTs represent no type of value, right? Once you switch your tokens to an NFT, like buying an NFT, it has an inherent value of what you purchased it at. So let's say, for example, if I purchased an NFT artwork at 1 Ether, and I try to get a loan on top of that. So since you have an NFT, it's all about your representation of that art. So what can happen is that they can either say, hey, look, this artwork is not valued at one ETH. We're not going to loan you that. I think NFT, I believe it was like NFT Lend or something like that. One of them is doing a lending product for NFTs, but you're gonna have to have like either super high-end NFTs from like games or collectibles, like punks and stuff like that. So it wouldn't be just your average NFTs from artwork. And also for that too, it's like another problem with, I would say, speculating on the price of NFTs as well, is that, let's say, for example, if I place up an NFT art piece and I have my secondary account buy it for 2 ETH, and then now my artwork is valued at 2 ETH. I take that and I lend it out, right? So in my account, I still have the 2 ETH. I just created a piece of art. It might not be the best in the world, but it's now valued at 2 ETH. Like, how do you define if that 2 ETH is now worth, if that artwork is still worth 2 ETH for that piece? So it's going to be a little bit of an interesting move to kind of wait and see how NFTs are valued in decentralized finance.
I want to take a quick moment to give a big shout out. I guess we got the name base here from DeFi Summit. Let me put his name up here as well too. It's a fellow lunatic too, so I really, really appreciate you giving this to us as well too. Let's get you some love here. Let's see here, HNS. Oh, there you go. You can find him there too. I don't know how to pronounce your. How do you want to say it? FNG view? FNG?
FNG.
FNG. Give him a follow on Twitter. Appreciate it so much. Thanks for giving us this as well too. So this is really cool. We'll definitely make use of this. H is silent. FNG.
FMView. But yeah, also for that too, it's like like for everyone that's watching as well, is that we're providing this content for you guys, and if you guys have any questions and stuff, feel free to reach out to us. But we wanted to have it, like, even whenever we thought of like having DeFi Summit as well, is that we wanted to have information free for you guys. So we're gonna be doing this Monday, Wednesday, and potentially some Fridays as well. So if you guys have any questions and stuff, feel free to reach out to us. If you are watching the rerun of the live stream, you can also find us at t.me/DeFi Summit as well. And then also a little bit about our sponsor, Unicrypt, as well.
Yeah, before I get into Unicrypt as well too, like if you go to like our YouTube, you can take a look at kind of like all the different. So we uploaded now into the different days, so you can go and view it easily now. So go take a look at all the different talks as well. We have a ton that we've had presented too. So feel free to hop on, have a look at it. If you want to go look at back at some of the content that we do have. And then also too, again, like just to help our show continue on and a lot of the content that we do produce, I want to give a shout out to Unicrypt. Unicrypt provides multi-chain services such as like liquidity locking to easy to deploy code with no minter functions and other rug pull things to give you kind of that certification that you're least likely to rug pull. Doesn't guarantee that you're not going to rug pull. And then they have a lot of other services as well that they do provide. So I want to give a shout out to them. Liquidity lockers, token vesting, token minting. They also have a little ILL launchpad, farms as a service, allowing people to build farms directly, and also staking as a service built into their platform as well too. So they provide a lot of cool tools for projects, and they have supported us as well. They're just, as you can see, they're not really like hype based. They're just like focusing on just like building cool things into the space as well too. So they have a lot of unique services, and have them a look. Unicrypt.network.
Yeah, and then especially I like their liquidity locker, because like, let's say if you're building if you're thinking of investing into a new coin, right? And then from there, it's like there's no liquidity lockers. What happens like with the liquidity lockers, that it gets locked into a liquidity pair for a certain amount. So even if anything happens, let's say if they rug pull, they decide to rug pull and stuff like that, liquidity is still kind of there, but it's all about the due diligence of the team. And you also have Chav, which is actually which he actually doxed himself live on one of our videos. So they're no longer anonymous. Now there's a front-facing figure for their team and stuff like that. But also with these liquidity lockers as well, it's like this liquidity will stay on that exchange until whenever happens. The only thing that's the opposite of liquidity lockers, if they have a minting function, they can just mint out more tokens and then kill the liquidity locker. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, if you guys haven't already, make sure to join our Telegram channel, t.me/DeFi Summit. And then if there's any more questions, feel free to reach out to us on there. But we're going to be doing this again on Monday and Wednesdays, and sometimes Fridays as well.
Definitely. Cool.
All right, cool. Any questions? I think not. So yeah, I guess we can kind of end the live stream here today. Once again, thank you guys for all listening in and tuning in, and really getting some of these content out as well. And if there's some content that you guys actually want us to review on the show as well, just feel free to place them into the Telegram group, and then we'll pick them up and we'll see which ones that we can kind of place on. There's a karma function that's going to be within our Telegram. So if you place on an article and we really like it and we're going to be featuring it onto the show, we'll actually give you karma, and then over time the karma will add up, and there's going to be some different incentives for that as well. But stay tuned for that.
Awesome. Well, thanks everybody to tuning in, and follow us on social, and we'll keep you guys posted.